Hello. Let's talk about earthworms and its importance its contribution into the soil health. As we know that they are the microorganisms, they are the macroorganisms in the soil, and by their activity in the soils, they offer many benefits, that is increased nutrient availability, better drainage, and more stable soil structure, of which they help to improve the farm productivity. Earthworms feed on plant debris, that is the dead roots, leaves, grasses, manure, and as well as the soil. As they cast their waste into the soil, and nitrogen in the casts or waste is more readily available for the plant. Earthworms, as they do extensive journaling in the soil and burrowing in the soil, they loosen and aerate the soils, in which they increase the soil porosity and soil aeration. Soils with earthworms are more 10 times better than the soils without earthworms in terms of drainage and aeration. In terms of soil structure, earthworms cement the soil particles together, improving the soil structure and its stability in the soil. We have many ways of improving and encouraging the growth and the multiplications of the earthworms in the soil. Earthworms, they don't like too acidic soils, too alkaline soils, too dry soils, too wet soils, too hot soils, and too cold soils. The presence of the earthworms in the soils indicates that your soils are of good health. That is, they are fit for any crop production. Number one way of encouraging the earthworms into your soil is to ensure that your pH is above 4.5. Anything below 4.5 is not favorable for earthworm multiplication. And when your soil is less than 4.5, you may apply calcium carbonates to improve the soil pH. Another way is to increase the organic matter or manure into the soil, because the organic manure or the organic matter in the soil is the food for the earthworms, and as they feed, as they cast their waste, they improve the nutrient availability into the soil. Another method is to reduce the use of synthetic or inorganic fertilizers or inorganic chemicals. Once you use the inorganic chemicals, continuous use of inorganic chemicals, they may end up ruining the ecosystem for the earthworms in the soil, or they may increase the mortality rate of the earthworms in the soil. Another thing is the reduced use of fungicides and herbicides into the soils, because some fungicides and some herbicides are earthworms, and they may increase the mortality rate of the earthworms in the soil. Another method is you keep your soils moist by either increasing the use of mulch or increase the use of cover crops, which may end up reducing the evapotranspiration and as well reduce the soil compaction. Compacted soils have less populations of earthworms, because compacted soils there is minimal supply of oxygen, which may cause suffocations of the earthworms, which may increase the mortality rate. Another one is the reduced cultivation, that is, continuous plowing will reduce the population of the earthworms into the soils. Therefore, farmers are encouraged to practice conservational farming. That is where the employ applications of organic manure, applications of for planting the cover crop, and as well as the practicing minimum tillage or zero tillage to increase the population or to encourage the populations of the earthworms as well as the multiplications of the earthworms into the soil. As you can see, these are the soils these are the soils which are, as you can see, these are the soils which are where the organic manure was